If you want to communicate with pretty much anyone efficiently, you have to read it. Today we're going to talk about the main ideas from Marshall Rosenberg's book called Nonviolent Communication. It's definitely one of my top 10 best nonfiction books. We will discuss two basic principles of nonviolent communication: honest expression and empathetic listening. With nonviolent communication, we learn to hear our own needs and those of others. So, there are two basic principles of NVC. Number one, expression of feelings and needs. And number two, demonstrating empathy. There are 4 steps for expressing your feelings and needs. Step number 0, you should do it openly without accusation or criticism. Number 1, observations. What am I observing and how does it affect my well-being? Number 2, feelings. How do I feel about this observation? Number 3, needs. What is my need or value underlying what I am feeling? Clearly articulate what will enrich my life without making any demands. And number 4, request. Specific action I would like to receive. Examples. When I see your clothes thrown about the room, I feel annoyed because I need the order in our house. Could you put your clothes in the wardrobe, please? Or, when I hear you yelling at me, I feel resentful because it's important to me that people treat me with respect. Would you please talk to me calmly? Rules for properly expressing your needs and feelings. When you make a remark, don't make judgments. Accusations, insult, labels, criticism, comparison, and diagnoses are all forms of judgments. When others hear criticism, they tend to direct energy toward self-protection or attack. When we clearly express our needs, it is far more likely to satisfy them than when judging, blaming, or punishing others. Be very specific. Specify time and context. For example, Hank hasn't scored a goal in 15 games. Instead of Hank is bad at football. When expressing a feeling, avoid describing your thoughts, judgments, or interpretations. Words like that, he, she, it, etc. For example, I feel that you don't like me. It's not the feeling. It's better to say, I feel sad, upset, or something else. Take responsibility for your actions, thoughts, and feelings. Our feelings, thoughts, and actions may be influenced by others, but they're never the direct cause. You always have a choice. Never say, I have to do this. Instead say, I choose to do this, because this and this. Remember that we always have 4 choices in responding to negative statements. Blame ourselves, blame others, feel our own feelings and needs, and feel the feelings and needs behind another person's negative statement. When making a request, avoid vague, abstract, and ambiguous language. Use affirmative statements without what not. Avoid demands. Mention that you only want consent if it is voluntary. When people hear our demands, they see only 2 possibilities: to submit or to resist. They usually resist, defending their independence and strong need for choice. So let's talk about empathy. For empathy, there are the same 4 steps. Also, the first and the fourth are often omitted. Number 1, observation. What other people observe and how does it affect how he, she feel? Number 2, feelings. How does the person feel about what he, she is observing? Number 3, needs. What is the person's needs or value that underlies his, her feelings? And number 4, request. Specific action person would like to receive. Examples. When you see a house not cleaned, do you feel angry because cleanliness of the house is important to you? Would you like me to clean it? Or simply, you feel angry because having a clean house is important to you? Here are examples of non-empathy. Avoid them. Advices. I think you should. Competition. It's just a little thing. Listen to what happened to me. Admonition. You can learn a very valuable lesson from this if you just... Consolation. You're not the problem. You did the best you could. Retelling our own experiences. I remember when I had... Suppressing other people's emotions. Cheer up, don't worry. Showing sympathy. Oh, poor guy. Asking question. When did it start? Explanation. I would have called, but... Correction. That's not really what happened. The essence of empathy is presence. Be fully aware of other person and their experiences. Don't do anything, just be. Then you could also give feedback, paraphrase the other person's words, to show that you understand them. Regardless of what others say, we only hear what they observe, what they feel, what they need, or what they request. When you feel that you have taken a defensive position and cannot be empathic, you need to Step 1. Stop, take a deep breath and show empathy to yourself. Step 2. Yell without aggression. And Step 3. Make a pause. Maybe the most important part of NVC is our own attitude toward ourselves. If we have learned to reformulate judgment when talking to others, we can also learn to recognize self-critical internal dialogues and immediately shift attention toward the needs behind them. By analyzing our behavior in terms of our own unmet needs, we make the impetus for change not shame, guilt, anger, or depression, but a sincere desire to promote our own well-being and well-being of others. We also develop empathy toward ourselves when we consciously choose to act in daily life only in the interest of our own needs and values, and not under the influence of duty, external reward, shame, guilt, or punishment. If we carefully analyze the actions that do not bring us joy and transfer them from the category of "it's my duty" to the category "I choose," we will bring integrity to our lives. That's all for today. I hope something from this video was helpful or interesting, and do the right thing, whatever it takes.